5% of your CGPA. Is it clear? So therefore, you can save 1 year provided you have 4 years of degree with research as your specialization in the 4th year, and you have a minimum 7.5 CGPA. Then you can go for your PhD straight away and complete your PhD in 2 years' time or 3 years' time according to your capabilities. Is that clear? So this is the major change that has been brought by the new education policy. Earlier, if you are left after 1 year of college studies, you have finished, you don't get anything. But now you may get a certificate course. So 1 year you will get a certificate, 2 years you will get a diploma, 3rd year you will get a degree, and 4th year you will get degree with honors and degree with research. With that you can go for your PhD. Is that clear? So you save 1 year. And another major provision in this is they have talked about multidisciplinary. What is this multidisciplinary? Can anyone tell me? What is this multidisciplinary? Ma'am was talking about multidisciplinary. What is this? Yeah? Yes, go ahead.
Other lines, if someone is doing his major in physics or science background, he can do his minor in arts.
Okay, good. Yes. Is it useful for you? Suppose you are a BBA student or you are a BCA student. What way you are going to benefit if you take a course on biology? How is it going to be of use to you? Okay. Now, multidisciplinary, now they are using, because today's context, if you look at the problems that we are facing today, they are multicultural. In other words, they require solutions which fit across different disciplines. So therefore, they are expecting students, okay, to take up multi-disciplinary subjects. That is what they are. What is the need for this policy now? Why did the government introduce this policy, that also during COVID, without even going through the parliament? Why did they do that? What is the need for this policy? Is there any need for this policy? Yes? Do we need a new education policy now? Please answer me. Yes? What's the need? Yes, go ahead. Why? Why do we need? Go ahead. Yes, anyone? Yeah.
Because the previous education policy was too rigid for them.
Okay, good. Okay, then anyone else? It was too rigid. Yes. Yeah. Okay, to bring about revolution in education. Okay, anyone else? Okay, let me put you in a context. Today, about 7 to 8 lakh students come out of their post-graduation every year. In the country, 7 to 8 lakh students come out of their post-graduation every year. Of that, only 10% of the students find placement. Only 10% get employment. 90% do not get employment. Why is this? Why is this? Because there is a gap between what we study and the skills that is required. So therefore, what we study is totally irrelevant to the job that is required outside. So therefore, the government felt now is the time we need to change this education policy. We need to make it more skill-oriented so that students immediately after their graduation or post-graduation, they get a job of their choice. Okay, this is one of the reasons why the government opted, okay, in other words, went in for changing the education policy. Okay, therefore, please keep this in mind. We need skill-oriented education. And that's why today, if you look at, there is very less intake in traditional courses such as, okay, history, sociology, political science. There is no demand because they are not skill-oriented. So therefore, now the need is to introduce more skill-oriented program. Okay. Now, another thing. Will St. Xavier's College exist under AKU after 2030? Will St. Xavier's College, will it exist under AKU as an affiliated college after 2030? Now why? Then what will happen to this? Okay, yes. By 2030, all the colleges will have to become either autonomous college or degree awarding universities or research intense universities. These are the three things. So therefore, there will not be any affiliated colleges after 2030. No more affiliated colleges. Either you become an autonomous degree awarding college or you become a degree awarding university which is offering multi subject, okay, or you become research intense university. These are the only three types of institutions that will exist in the country after 2030. And that's the reason we have already applied for an autonomous status. Is that clear? So therefore, the reason is this. Last 4 years, we have been trying to get the university to revise the syllabus. But the university is not revising the syllabus. Therefore, if you are an autonomous college, you have the advantage of revising the syllabus as and when it is required. And that is the reason the government insists that every college should become an autonomous college by 2030. Is that clear?
May I now request Chaudhary sir to lead the first session further.
Thank you. Good morning, respected Father Principal, my esteemed colleagues, and my dear students. As Father said, and also ma'am, that now onwards we are going towards more autonomous. Means what? That what Father said right now. If we have to go by the changes in the economy is going in one direction and our education system remains in other direction. So we have the army of the unemployed. Why? On the one side, the industry requires a particular skill. On the other side, there are unskilled people. So the syllabus has to be framed according to the requirement of the industry. And for that, we have to go for continuous changes. Technology changes so fast. Mode of production changes so fast. Economy changes so fast. But the universities go with a snail's pace. You give an application for changing one thing, and it will take another 5 years for the academic committee to sit and take a decision. By then, there has been another change again. So we cannot go like that. We have to give the institutions the autonomy to interact with the industry as per the requirement. Requirement of the industry and the type of education we have in our universities, in our institution should be compatible. Therefore, the institutions need to be given more autonomy so that we can have the type of education, the type of syllabus, the type of the skills that the industry requires. This is one very important thing. Then secondly, stay with here. You can exit after 1 year. Take a degree. Earlier, if you dropped out in the first year, you are a dropout. If you dropped out in the second year, still you are a dropout. If you complete your 3 years, you get a degree. But now, you complete 1 year and you get a certificate. You still have one certificate in your hand and you say that, yes, I have completed first level. Then if you complete 2 years and you want to go for your job, yes, go. Take another thing that is called diploma. If you complete 3 years, yes, you have completed, you have another degree and you go with a degree. If you want to go further and want to do research, you want to go into the higher education, you go for honors and research, and as Father said, at this level you can do your PhD. In our Institute of Sciences, Indian Institute of Science, okay, this type of education is still there. After completing your graduation, still you could do your PhD in Indian Institute of Science. But in other institutions, it was not available. Then the question arises. Go to the next slide, please. Now, if you completed 1 year from St. Xavier's College and you are working in Delhi now and you want to continue your education of the second year in Delhi, right? So how will you go about it? So now, whatever degree whatever credit you are collecting, for that there will be a credit bank. Can you see here? Academic Bank of Credit. So your credit will be deposited in the bank. It will be known to any institution that you have completed 1 year from that particular college. So it is not necessary to stay in the same college for your second year or for your third year or for your research at other level. So your credits will be accumulated. You have deposited your credit in the Academic Bank of Credit. Are you getting it? Are you getting my point? Did you understand what Academic Bank of Credit is? Your credit that you earned in this college will be credited in the Academic Bank of Credit. You go for the second year. That credit will also be collected in that Academic Bank of Credit. So all your credits will be visible to any institution wherever you are going for your education. So finally, wherever you get the admission, you will be free to study in any institution provided that institution fulfills the criteria as per the new education policy. Now, is that clear? Is Academic Bank of Credit clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Fine, thank you. Go to the next slide. Yeah. Now, this has been our goal all the time. Study here and go for the foreign studies, foreign education. That has been our attraction all through. So, the new education policy talks about internationalization. We invite foreign institutions to open their counters in India, open their campuses in India, and we also collaborate with other institutions in the foreign country so that the education will get the true international character. And why do you need international character of education? Is technology confined to one country? Is technology confined to one country? Is the knowledge confined to one country? So if it is not confined to one country, it has to be internationalized. The same type of education should be available here. The same type of education should be available in the USA. The same type of education should be available in Australia. So therefore, the education has to be internationalized so that the same level of standard of education is attained by all the countries. Now, this is more better said than done. We are not even able to attain the same level of education for our own country. We have one type of school, one type of college for one type of students, and those who are better ones, they go to the another institution, they are the better ones. So, some sort of deprivation is there. Disadvantaged groups are there. They cannot attain those facilities because they do not have that economic capacity. They are not up to date with the current level of education. So, the new education policy tries to uplift the level in general so that the participation of the student is at the highest level and the disadvantaged group therefore are given more assistance, more facilities. Go to the next one. Yes. Yes. Now the student participation and support. The students are given the support, the disadvantaged group, the socially and economically challenged group. They are given more support so that they can come together. And also one thing ma'am said, remember, till now what we have? Curricular activities, extracurricular activities. What is the sports? What is the sport? What is art? Nothing is extracurricular now. Everything is curricular. A sport is a skill. You can get that skill and you can work, you can earn your livelihood. So, a sport is equally a skill as is medical science, as is engineering, as is any other thing, as art. So, art, craft, literature, okay, science, technology, everything is given the same footing. So that nothing is called curricular and extracurricular. You have only this certificate, so you have to get the advantage of getting admission. No, you have the sports ability, you go to the place where the sports is given that weightage, equal weightage, and along with the other subjects. Okay, so we are trying to do away with the discrimination of curricular, extracurricular, etc. Okay, next one. Yes. Now this is very important, and this is where the major challenge lies. Right? It says that under new education policy, the socially and economically disadvantaged group, can you see? SEDG, socially and economically disadvantaged groups. They will be given special support. But the problem is here. The new education policy says that the institutions of higher education will be encouraged to give them financial support. There is no provision or nowhere it is said that the government will be giving this support. The government will be providing this facility. Rather, it says that the education and the institution of higher education will be encouraged to give financial support to the SEDGs. Okay, जो सोशली इकोनॉमिकली डिसएडवांटेज ग्रुप है उसको फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट देने के लिए इनकरेज किया जाएगा इंस्टीट्यूशंस ऑफ हायर एजुकेशन को। ये गारंटी नहीं कहीं किया हुआ है कि सरकार आपको देगी ये फैसिलिटी। तो आप इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? ये जो राइट टू एजुकेशन है वो राइट टू इनकरेजमेंट है, एक्चुअली इनकरेज किया जाएगा कि आपको दिया जाए, लेकिन उस पर कोई लीगल बाइंडिंग की बात ये नहीं कर रहा। I hope you are getting it clearly. Yes. Okay, the next one. Yeah, motivated, energized, and capable faculty. Now, if you have good higher education institutions where the education of the true requirement is provided, so you people will be coming out of the institutions of higher education. You will have that required skill. The government will particularly monitor that those skills are actually provided. So, the professors, the teachers who come out of those will be truly skilled, motivated, and energized to give you or give the coming generations the right kind of education that we require. Is that fine? Yeah, next slide. Yes. Then equity and inclusion. Look, it says that the new education policy will try to provide that equality. Right? So those disadvantaged group will be given special support. Okay? So that each group of each culture, the student from each background, okay, all will be provided that footing of equity. बराबरी का दर्जा पर लाने की कोशिश की जाएगी। Again, you can understand, ये भी केवल डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी जैसा लग रहा है। गवर्नमेंट इक्विटी लाना चाहती है थ्रू न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी। अभी भी तो राइट टू एजुकेशन हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में है। यस, could we achieve that equity? So that equity cannot come through the policy. Equity comes through the implementation. So for that you need the fund allocation. Nowhere in the education policy the government talks about the allocation of fund. Who will be taking care of the fund? Which institution will be providing that fund, from which source? Because Kothari Commission was established for education, right? Education, and it recommended that at least 6% of the GDP should be spent on education. 6%, not much. The highest that we could achieve is 3% till now. मतलब हम अपने जीडीपी का 3% से ज्यादा एजुकेशन पर आज तक खर्च नहीं कर पाए, है ना? क्योंकि हमने कभी भी उस पर वो फंड ही एलोकेट नहीं किया। हमारे लिए हर समय एजुकेशन एक सेकेंडरी दर्जे की चीज बनी रही। ठीक है? सो नाउ इफ यू आर ओपनिंग द मार्केट, इफ यू आर अलाउइंग ऑल द इंस्टीट्यूशंस टू बिकम ऑटोनोमस, okay, and they are encouraged to provide quality education, and you will not be giving any support to those institutions. They will earn and they will spend. So how will the disadvantaged group will be given that facility? Fine. So there are a lot of things, and I think the session required both little bigger. And the resource person, like the principal, was volunteered here. So we made a mistake of by not inviting him for a full session. We will take care that sometime we have an interaction with the principal and he provides a larger understanding of this. Okay, so we have a few more things. Yeah, go to the next one. Yes. So vocational education ये बहुत जरूरी है ना. आप जब कोई एजुकेशन पाते हो किसी काम के लायक ही नहीं बनते हो, आपके पढ़ने का कोई मतलब नहीं रह जाता. So the education should be employment oriented. कुछ पढ़ा तो उसके जरिए हम अपना लाइवलीहुड अर्न कर सकते हैं, कोई काम कर सकते हैं, रोजगार पैदा कर सकते हैं, रोजगार ले सकते हैं और परिवार चला सकते हैं. So the education system gives more focus on vocational education. काम के लायक education हमारा होना चाहिए. The new education policy talks about. Next one. Yes, quality academics and research. आपने देख लिया focus. Fourth year research. मतलब ग्रेजुएशन में ही आपको रिसर्च के लिए तैयार कर लिया जाएगा. अगर आपको रिसर्च में जाना है तो रिसर्च के साथ आपको ग्रेजुएशन करना है. अगर आपको रिसर्च में नहीं जाना है, 3 साल कर लिया आपने, डिग्री ले ली, यू हैव द डिग्री ऑफ ग्रेजुएशन, यू गो एंड गेट अ जॉब. ओके, तो अलग से फोकस दिया गया है यहाँ रिसर्च पर. इन ग्रेजुएशन इटसेल्फ द फोकस इज गिवन ऑन रिसर्च सो दैट यू आर रेडी विथ योर डिसीजन. ये आपको पीजी करके नहीं सोचना है पीएचडी की चोरी कहाँ से करनी है, कहाँ से जाके एक थीसिस लिखवा लेना है और फिर जाके दिखा देना है कहीं पे कि हमारे पास पीएचडी है. अब ये अलग बात है कि आपको अपने पीएचडी पर अगर कॉन्फिडेंट बोलने के लिए कह दिया जाए तो पसीना छूट जाएगा, क्योंकि आपने कुछ काम तो किया नहीं हो, कहीं से थीसिस लिखवा लिया है, नौकरी करने के लिए आपने वो थीसिस दिखाने की कोशिश की और ये हो रहा है इंडिया बहुत बड़े मास स्केल. सो दैट रिसर्च हैज टू बी गिवन द प्रॉपर फोकस. और आप देख लो एक बात और बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हमारे यहाँ रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट इतना पीछे क्यों है. हम दुनिया के सबसे बड़े इंपोर्टर हैं टेक्नोलॉजी के, हम दुनिया के सबसे बड़े इंपोर्टर हैं किसी भी प्रोडक्ट के. हमारे यहाँ कुछ भी इनोवेशन नहीं होता. ठीक है, कारण क्या है, हमारा रिसर्च बहुत बैकवर्ड है. हम अपने रिसर्च पर फोकस नहीं करते, हम इनोवेशन पर फोकस नहीं करते. डिग्री बांटते हैं और नौकरी लेने के लिए बाजार में छोड़ देते हैं बेसहाय, और तब क्या होता है 10 के वैकेंसी पर 10,000 की भीड़ लग जाती है. Okay, so we have to give a proper focus on research and innovation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, our dear father and professors, for this educative presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, next up we have a nukkad by Xavier Theatre Club 8234 4328, and here I invite them on stage.
नमस्ते अंकल.
नमस्ते बेटा.
आप यहाँ पे?
हाँ बेटा, रमेश को कॉलेज से ले जाने आया हूँ.
और क्यों अंकल?
फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम.
अंकल आपको पता नहीं है नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020 के बारे में?
नहीं पता.
नहीं पता?
1 2 3 4 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 4 3 2 1.
इसमें ऐसा क्या है जो तुम लोग 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 कर रहे हो?
होलिस्टिक मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी एजुकेशन।
होलिस्टिक मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी एजुकेशन।
हाँ।
पहला साल रमेश को ऐसी शिक्षा दी जाएगी जिससे उसका संपूर्ण विकास हो, मतलब उसे सभी विषय के बारे में जानकारी दी जाएगी, जैसे कि साइंस, फिलॉसफी, लैंग्वेज, लिटरेचर, और साथ में उसे वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग भी दी जाएगी, जैसे सिलाई बुनाई, कढ़ाई, कारपेंटर, मोबाइल, एसी बनाने की ट्रेनिंग, जिससे वह कुछ कमा सके और अपने पढ़ाई का खर्चा निकाल सके। ग्रेजुएशन 3 साल का या 4 साल का?
3 या 4 साल।
हाँ।
एकेडमिक बैंक ऑफ क्रेडिट।
एकेडमिक बैंक, स्टेट बैंक, यूको बैंक।
इस बैंक में पैसा नहीं, क्रेडिट होगा, जो रमेश के डिजिटल लॉकर में होगा।
ये क्या है? क्रेडिट लॉकर?
1 2 3 4
4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 4 3 2 1। ऐसा ही हमारे नालंदा यूनिवर्सिटी में हुआ करता था और इसीलिए वो विश्वविद्यालय इतना प्रचलित था।
पहला साल खत्म होने पर उसे सर्टिफिकेट दिया जाएगा, जिसके आधार पर यानी उसके स्किल के आधार पर उसे काम मिल सकता है, और साथ में क्रेडिट दिया जाएगा जो उसकी एकेडमिक बैंक में जमा रहेगा।
एकेडमिक बैंक, उसका क्या फायदा?
अगर पैसा कमाने के लिए उसे पढ़ाई छोड़नी पड़े तब उसके पहले साल की पढ़ाई बर्बाद नहीं जाएगी। रमेश 1 साल गैप करके वह कहीं भी यानी कि दूसरे शहर, दूसरे कॉलेज में एडमिशन ले सकता है, क्योंकि उसके पास पहले साल का सर्टिफिकेट और बैंक में क्रेडिट है।
वाह।
1 2 3 4 4 3 2 1
1 2 3 4 4 3 2 1।
दूसरा साल खत्म होने पर बेटा फिर क्रेडिट मिलेगा?
क्रेडिट के साथ डिप्लोमा भी,
मतलब?
पहले साल में सर्टिफिकेट, दूसरे साल में डिप्लोमा, और साथ में वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग, और साथ में क्रेडिट भी।
अगर दूसरे साल में भी उसे कमाना पड़े तो?
घबराने की बात नहीं, फिर वह पैसे कमाएगा, कमा के तीसरे साल के लिए किसी और शहर और यूनिवर्सिटी में दाखिला मिल सकता है।
तीसरे साल में जहाँ एडमिशन लेगा वहाँ क्या मिलेगा?
वहाँ अंकल उसे डिग्री मिलेगा, जिसके बाद वो सारे गवर्नमेंट एग्जाम में अपीयर हो सकते हैं। और अगर एक बार आपके बेटा को सरकारी नौकरी मिल गया ना, तब समझिए आपके पोता को 15 साल तक शिक्षा मुफ्त।
मतलब पहले साल में सर्टिफिकेट?
हाँ।
दूसरे साल में डिप्लोमा?
हाँ।
और तीसरे साल में डिग्री?
हाँ।
अच्छा बेटा, एकेडमिक बैंक में क्या क्रेडिट मिलेगा?
खाता खुला है तो मिलेगा ही।
तो उसे क्रेडिट का भी फायदा 1 2 3 चौथे साल में मिलेगा?
हाँ।
अरे मजा आ जाएगा। क्या मिलेगा चौथे साल में?
अगर वो बहुत बड़ी पढ़ाई करना चाहता है और अपने सब्जेक्ट में रुचि और नाम कमाना चाहता है तो वो अपने सब्जेक्ट ही की रिसर्च साइंटिस्ट के रूप में काम करने लगेगा और दूसरे कॉलेज में 1 साल कहीं पढ़ेगा तो उसको मास्टर की डिग्री मिल जाएगी। और इसके लिए आप ऑनलाइन या ऑफलाइन दोनों माध्यम से शिक्षा प्राप्त कर सकते हैं।
यानी ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग शिक्षित।
सरकार का एम है कि 2030 तक हमारे यूथ और अडल्ट दोनों में 100% शिक्षित होनी चाहिए और 2035 तक 50% हमारी जनता को वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग या स्किल ट्रेनिंग होनी चाहिए।
वाह।
पहला साल सर्टिफिकेट,
हाँ।
दूसरे साल डिप्लोमा,
हाँ। तीसरे साल डिग्री,
हाँ। चौथे साल रिसर्च,
हाँ।
ऑप्टिमल लर्निंग एनवायरनमेंट,
हाँ।
यानी कि सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट,
हाँ।
सबका विकास,
हाँ।
यानी समृद्ध भारत।
हाँ भाई, हाँ।
1 2 3 4 4 3 2 1।
कौन नहीं
Thank you, Xavier Theatre Club, for your amazing performance. Now I invite Ranveer of BHMC second year to propose the vote of thanks.
As we come to close of this is the 4th anniversary celebration of National Education Policy 2020, I, Ranveer Singh, PAGMC second, on the behalf of St. Xavier's College of Management and Technology, Patna, would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our principal, Martin Porras SJ, for his constant guidance and